Hello, partners. With the help of my writer and producer, Dennis Daly, we've looked at some really great, well-known Americans, our founding fathers. Many were well-known in other ways, too, such as actress Hedy Lamarr. Some were highly decorated in wartime or led the charge, as did General Douglas MacArthur. But now, before we go any further this week, I need to ask a question. Oh, is this a quiz, Jimmy? Well, kinda. Okay, what's the question? When Dennis Daly puts together his reports, where does he get his information? Now, don't worry, let me tell you. He gets his information from books, articles, documentaries. Jimmy, where does all of this go? What are you doing? I'm glad you asked. The answer is all of those books, articles, and documentaries were put together by historians. You see, partners, we forget that historians, at least the ones who tell us the real story and don't try to change history, are patriots. Think about this. We would know little or nothing of American history were it not for the men and women who collected the facts and wrote them down for us. And this would be for future generations too. Well, this week, Dennis looks at a historian who caused us to all remember and think and honor the past. His name was Stephen Ambrose. Stephen Ambrose only lived to be 66. But during his short life, he performed what we might call historical miracles. You see, Stephen Ambrose helped spearhead several projects that have become very important to this country. He was born in Lovington, Illinois. His dad was a doctor in the United States Navy. In his high school years, he lived in rural Wisconsin. When he went to college, he became a star football player. He had his heart set on being a doctor like his father, but fate stepped in. One day in college, he wandered into the wrong classroom. Soon a professor came in, but he wasn't talking about medicine. He was giving a lecture on American history. Young Stephen Ambrose was instantly hooked. He decided that day to spend all of his time studying American history. Well, after years of study, Stephen Ambrose began to write about the history of this nation. His first works centered around the Civil War. Then fate stepped in again. How's that, Jimmy? He became an assistant to a history professor who was an expert on General Dwight David Eisenhower. Okay, as he studied Ike, he learned about World War II. This is my war. Soon his entire focus was preserving the memories of that war. Stephen Ambrose became obsessed that World War II was being forgotten and something had to be done. So he launched a crusade to build a National World War II museum. Stephen Ambrose started a fundraiser, national fundraiser, to build it and put $500,000 of his own money into the pot. He dreamed of a museum that reflected his deep regard for our nation's citizen soldiers. Citizen soldiers, yeah, the workers on the home front, and the sacrifices and hardships they endured to achieve victory. Now this guy, Stephen Ambrose, was fearless. He contacted several Hollywood people and got contributions from them. Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg. He wrote to his own students and asked them for money. Yep, this is great. He chose a special building on the New Orleans waterfront, and it once housed the Higgins Boat Factory as the site for his museum. There, thousands of landing aircraft were made for the D-Day invasions. Ambrose referred to the facility as the D-Day Invasion Museum. When he died, Congress renamed this museum the National World War II Museum. After years of heavy smoking, at only 66 he died of lung cancer in 2002. But he left quite a legacy. Not only did he start that wonderful museum in New Orleans, but he appeared in many documentaries about the Second World War and inspired a new generation of historians to remember our past as we head into the future. Stephen Ambrose, a patriot, a historian, an American. Okay, partners, you know the drill. Look up at the 3 boxes there. The farthest to the right has the red X. Click that, and don't click anything else. You immediately return to the report for this week's commentary. Hey, Dennis, bless your heart for sending me such important information to give our partners in these videos. I love doing them, as you all know. Hey guys, I love you. Go get 'em, Tigers!